सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Om. We are seeing the topic of Samskaras, purificatory rituals for the refinement of the individual physical personality as well as mental personality, intellectual personality. These samskaras mentioned in Sutra literature, I mentioned in my introduction, Gautama Sutras, Smriti. Later on Sutras, they have written Smriti, Agnimalkya Smriti, Manusmriti, talking about these samskaras. In sutras itself, there are Dharma Sutras, Grihya Sutras, etc. In Grihya Sutras, these samskaras were discussed. These samskaras given for a child from the time of Garbhadhanam, conception time onwards, until last breath. So these samskaras meant for the spiritual upliftment of every human being. Our Shastra says for 25 years, from the first year onwards, up to 25 years, if a person follow a disciplined life, food disciplines and other disciplines when he follows, that person, the rest of the life, that person can live happily, physically, mentally, healthy, he can or she can lead the life. When the person before, that means first year onwards, 10th year, 15th year, 18th year, teenage, adolescent age, all these ages, if a person follow disciplines, a strict discipline life, that person rest of the life can lead happily with good health, mental health, intellectual health, physical health. For example, just like a tree. When the tree at the growing stage, if it is provided proper ground, proper water supply, proper fencing, proper sunlight, at that growing stage if you provide, it will be very healthy. Once it grows, later it doesn't require your support, neither water nor sunlight. It can take on its own. Same like we can apply the same example to our life. That is why children, when they are young, they do not know what is good for them. At young age, they do not know what is good for their body, mind. Therefore, parents have to take care of them. Parents have to provide. A plant by itself cannot have its support. It needs external support. A tree doesn't require external support. Similarly, a child up to 20, 23, 24, the growing stage from teenage, Kishoravastha, Balyavastha to Kishoravastha, Yuva Avastha, at that time they do not know right and wrong, because they are in growing stage. At that time, parents have to take care of them. Parents have to provide such an ambience, healthy ambience. Unless parents dedicate their time and energy to their children, children cannot lead a healthy life later. Now, I want to remind the role of parents. The role of parents is very, very important at the child's young age. At that time, if you don't focus on them, afterwards, however much you focus, there is no use at all. That is why in these samskaras, parents are doing for the child. Parents are doing for the child. For the child, healthy growth, better life, better living, all-round personality we want to develop. So, our Shastra keep this in mind and give these samskaras for human beings, how one can refine one's personality from birth itself. Therefore, we saw Garbhadhana samskara, Pumsavana samskara, Simantonnayana samskara, prenatal samskaras. Later, fourth samskara introduced Jatakarma, postnatal samskara after birth. When the father gives that secret name to the child, at that time, that fourth samskara is over. Again, in the 11th day or 10th day, the fifth samskara has to be done for the child. We are going to enter that fifth samskara known as Namakaranam, naming ceremony. Name is given to the child for Vyavahara sake. In Jatakarma, the name was given by the father, it was secret name. For the protection of the child, it was given. It is not for Vyavahara. It is not for the people to call by that name. Therefore, the name is of twofold now, Namakarana time. The name is given in two ways. That is, Deva Vyavaharartham, one name, and Loka Vyavaharartham, another name. What is this Deva Vyavaharartham name? It must be in Sanskrit. Deva Vyavaharartham, given name must be in Sanskrit. This name can be used only after Upanayana. After thread ceremony alone, that name is used. Until that time, Vyavaharartham, another name is given to the child. Vyavaharartham means that name which has got Vyavaharika Satta. Vyavaharika Satta means a relative name to relate with other people, father, mother, brother, sister. That child relate with others. That is called Vyavaharika Satta, means it has got only relative status. Originally, everyone's name is Turiya Atma, Avyavaharyam. But for this incidental body, parents give the name, Namakaranam. The name can be given based on the month, the child born, which month, that also they will take. Ashvayuja Masa and Chaitra Masa in Vasanta Rutu. So that season, that month, name also can be given. Chaitra Ratha, Ashwini Kumaras, less Ashwin, like that month name they can give. Secondly, forefathers' name, based on forefathers also. Forefathers are so highly knowledgeable, accomplished, and great forefathers. They want to remember that forefathers, they give that name to the child. That is also one type of name. Thirdly, one can give a name, Namakaranam, while doing, they can give the name based upon the Kuladaivam, their family deity also. That also can be given. Fourthly, the name can be given based on rishis, that great rishis, that Bharadwaja, Gautam, all these names they can give based on the rishis. These are the four factors they use while giving the names. Nowadays they are giving names to seeing the Google. They go to Google and see that very simple, easy name, so that they can travel to abroad easily, pronounceable name they are seeing. And first they see Google and they select the name nowadays. But it is not our culture. Based on that Rasi, Nakshatram, they have to give the name that protects the child. So this is about Namakaranam, and in addition to that, Deva Nama, Samskritam, Nama they have to give. After Upanayana they will use. If it is a long name, Naga Venkata Shiva Subramanya Sharma, like that if they give, you cannot call whole name. So you can call only short name. For Vyavahara's sake you can give a short name, even though forefather name and Kuladaivam name included, but we call with a short name so that it is meaningful name. Actually what father expects the child to become, that name they will give. What the father expects the child has to become. So child has to become victorious, suppose, in all, successful in everything. Father gives Vijay. Suppose the child will have to become very valorous, powerful, courageous. Father can give Pratap. Like that there are different aspects are there in the name. So that names are all decided by our expectation, what parents want the child to become. So meaningful name has to be given. Then the names next to that, they add a suffix. They can add, for Brahmanas, they used to add Sharma. For Kshatriyas, they add Varma. For Vaishyas, they add Gupta. For Shudras, they add Dasa. After name, they add this suffix, Sharma, for Brahmanas. Sharma means that is peaceful, calm. That is the meaning it gives. Ananda. Sharma means Ananda. Varma means armor. Kshatriya has to wear armor for protection. So Varma means armor. Gupta means Vaishyas generally do that business. They have to keep secrets. So the tax paying and all, when it comes, a lot of other things. They keep all any provision, anything, if it is very nice, means they say it is nice. So many other secrets they keep. That is the principle in business they do. So that's why they keep that name Gupta. Gupta means what? Secret. They keep the secret, things are all in secret. Guptas, for Vaishyas. Shudras, of course, they all serve to that entire humanity, other people. Since they are having service motive, service oriented activities they are doing, that is Dasa. So dasa they give. Dasa means we should not look down upon as a servant. Dasa means serving to the society, serving to the Bhagavan only. So that is the intention. They keep that suffix names. Apart from this, in Namakarana later, they call Tripathi, Chaturvedi, Trivedi, because our forefathers, if they have studied 4 Vedas, they give the name Chaturvedi, as suffix comes. Or they have studied 3 Vedas, they give that Tripathi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, 2 Vedas, those who have studied. But nowadays people keep that name, Chaturvedi, Trivedi, that is forefathers have studied. But this person do not know what are the names of Vedas also. That is why we have to live according to our name to that extent. At least minimum we have to fulfill the meaning of that name. With that intention they used to give those names. Then later, once a person accomplishes certain things, they give another addition, they add another suffix like Shastri, Dikshitar. The one who does yaga and who takes Diksha is called Dikshitar. One who performs many yajnas, yagas is called Dikshitar. Shastri means the one who has studied Shastra. That's why they add that Shastri name. So these are all the intentions in giving the names. So up to Upanayanam, one Nama, after Upanayanam, Deva Nama, because Devas knows Sanskrit. So in Sanskrit they give names, and that is the idea. But an aside point, after this Namakarana end, I want to give my own view. The intention of giving the Nama, the deity's name, Rishi's name, Bhagavan's name we give, Subramanyam, Lakshmi Narayana, Srinivas, all these names, generally God's name why they give? So that you can call your son or daughter by that name every day. It will entrench into your mind. That name you go on calling Narayana, 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 Rama or Krishna. So you are remembering the Lord, even though you are calling your son, you are remembering the Lord. In our Puranas there is a story also. The father gives the name to Narayana to his son. At the end, lifespan, he has to call Narayana, Narayana. So this is the intention, so that you can remember the Lord throughout your life by calling your son or daughter Devi, names Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati, or some other goddess names, God name, so that your vasanas always filled with Bhagavan's name. What Lord Krishna said, Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram tantame vaiti kaunteya tada tadbhava bhavitaha, as Lord Krishna said. That means whatever nama you remember at that last breath time, that you will attain. Bhagavan nama you remember, you attain Bhagavan's feet. That is the intention of keeping God's name. But unfortunately, that all concepts have gone nowadays, and simple names they are giving, we do not know what is the meaning also. And pet names, wait, another. They love Bujji, Chinni, meaningless names just like that we are calling, go on and a day and weeks, months, years, if you call like decades like that. What is the meaning of that? We are calling out of love, too much love towards children, we keep so other names. They are not names at all, but we call. Subramanyam, Subbu we call. If you call Subbu, you can't remember Bhagavan. Subramanyam only you have to call. Mani at least you can call. But people are using other nicknames. They do not know the intention of giving the name. That vasanas, by you utter the name, the shabda goes to the mind, your psyche. That is why the full name you keep at least Shiva, Krishna, Rama, 2 letters name. There are many other names. So like that, if you give the Namakarana, the child also will accomplish that greatness in his or her life. And parents also, by calling that name, they will also get punya, some punya. So the good vibration will be there around if you call that name. Narayana, Narayana, Rama, Rama, the vibration, positive vibrations. But if you call Chinni, Bujji or Subbu, no positive vibration can come. But don't mistake me. But this is why our people select those names from our Puranas. In Vishnu Sahasranama, 1,000 names are there. In Lalita Sahasranama, for girls, there are 1,000 names. You can select any one name. Therefore, that names are very, very important. Some people keep name, but they do not know what is the meaning of their name. Recently, when I was taking one class, I saw one name, Gandhi Mati. I asked that student, what do you mean by Gandhi Mati? I have never heard such a name, Gandhi Mati. Then that student says, my parents gave that. She is a goddess. In Tamil Nadu, they worship that deity. Kantimati. The name is Kantimati. Unfortunately, in Tamil Nadu, the pronunciation, they do not know ka, kha, ga, gha, all letters are same. And tagakara, tata, dadha, one letter. I saw online class like that, Gandhimati. I was surprised. What is this name? Later I explained her, if that is goddess name, your parents have given, it is Kantimati, not Gandhimati. There is no Gandhimati name. That is registered. It is registered. Already it is there. How can she change now? I asked her, try to change. You ask your parents, it is Kantimati. It is not Gandhimati. So that is the alphabetical letters when they are writing. They have to think a while. While we are calling our children, we have to think a while. See the intention of our ancestors, intention of our rishis, our Puranas, Itihasas. Why this name? Even one spelling, if it is not proper, how much you feel in your name? So much identity with our names we are. Therefore, name Namakarana is given based on our scriptures, the Samskara. So the remembering the Lord all the time. So meaningful names, and child do not know the meaning, we have to explain what is the meaning of this name. And the child has to learn about that character. How great that character, how quality about that character one has to develop. Like that we have to think. If we do not know, we have to ask a priest. Therefore, Namakaranam is very, very highly significant. This is about Namakaranam. If anyone have that such names, Chinni, Bujji, Subbu, don't mistake me. But I have to tell the fact. Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalebaram. Because Lord Krishna said, once you call your children by their name, whom you call often, your children only you call by name, maximum time. Therefore, those names, God's names, automatically, spontaneously, the samskara, the vasanas will be positive and they will help you for your sake also, for child's sake also. So this is about Namakaranam. Now we'll go to the next one. There are mantras also, Punyaha Vachanam, ritual they do, and they chant some mantras while giving doing Namakaranam, naming ceremony. Now the sixth samskara is Nishkramanam. Nishkramana means outing. First time taking the child outside. That is called Nishkramana. Nishkramana means outing. First outing of the child. When they does this. Namakaranam did 10th day or 11th day. Nishkramanam they perform on 3rd month, 4th month and 3rd month they do. They take the child first time outside. First time. So therefore they draw a swastik mark outside and they go, father takes the child and stand there on that swastik mark. And they chant Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam, like that. Some mantras they will chant and they pray to all directions. Dik Devatas, Dik Palakas are there. Western side, southern side, eastern side, northern side. Devatas are there, Dik Palakas are there. There is a prayer. So 3rd month to see the sun, they show the sun in the 3rd month. Again 4th month they take the child to show the moon in the night. So the child will grow and get strength. Psychologically the child become little bit stronger in the 4th month. Therefore in the evening, nights normally up to 3rd month they don't take the child in the night outside. So that child is taken for the 3rd month to show the sun. At the daytime they show the sun, and 4th month they show the moon. This is called Nishkramanam, and they pray all the devatas for longevity of the child, prosperity, good health, and asking the devatas, Dikpalakas, to protect the child when child comes out. They ask all the devatas. This is about Nishkramanam, first outing. Then we'll go to the next samskara, is known as Annaprasana. Annaprasana, ceremoniously. Annam prashyate yena karmana. Annaprasana. An act by which food is ceremoniously eaten. Annaprasana means an act in which the food is eaten ceremoniously. They do some samskara at that time, and they chant Omkara, Pranava, and Vyahriti, Gayatri. They chant. The child is going to take solid food for the first time. Until now, this samskara done the 6th month or 8th month for a male child. All maximum samskaras for a male child in even months, even dates. For a girl child, odd months or odd dates. This is the rule given in the Shastra. So 6th month, this Annaprasana can be done, or 8th month. That time the child has to forget the mother's milk. Slowly the child has to forget to drink mother's milk. The child has to get habituated to eat solid food. Why? Because the child is growing. When the child is growing, the child needs more food. Healthy food, more energy child needs. Therefore, mother's milk cannot provide sufficient energy for the child. Milk food alone cannot be sufficient for the child. That is why we have to provide the solid food. What they provide? Rice, ghee, curds and honey. Milk is added by some people, but according to Sushruta Ayurveda, he is not allowing the milk. Rice, ghee, curds and honey. These 4 items can be mixed. So, Annaprasana time, they feed the baby, the child, in the 6th month or 8th month. At that time, parents worship Oshadhis, all the plant kingdom they worship. They ask that Oshadhi Bhyonnam Annat Purushaha, because we are all born and grown up with food only and water. So they pray to water, Varuna Devata, and they pray to Oshadhis, also plant kingdom. So they request that Oshadhi Devata and Varuna Devata, please protect my child. Let my child be free from food-borne diseases. Because of some pesticides, some chemicals, food poison may take place. Therefore, they ask that Vanadevata, please protect my child from food-borne diseases. Very, very difficult to maintain the child, because child cannot ask, child cannot talk. That is very difficult. That is why mother and father, they have to take care of the child, what we have to feed the child. And waterborne diseases sometimes, diarrhea, dysentery, so many things the child undergoes because of lack of purity in water and food. These are all diseases prone to come at the childhood. Months time, 1 year, like that, very, very difficult to maintain good health for the child. So there is a prayer, special prayer for that. They ask for the Aushadhi and Varuna Devata. So after this prayer, because the child is getting the salt and all not added, mirchi salt is not added, because the child getting vasanas, that time vasanas slowly coming into the mind of the child, that age. So at that time, what they do, they keep certain things in front of the child. They see what the child is going to hold, those things. It shows the inclination of the child. What is the vasana, inclination, interest of the child, we can know at a very young age. And they keep certain musical instruments, fine arts, whether a child likes fine arts, or a child likes science, or a child likes certain books also they keep. Child loves knowledge, so they keep, or even a lock, a key also they keep. That means a child always possessive, interested in money, wealth. That shows they keep so many things, and food items also they keep. And some children will go near the food, they say this is sapat raman. So a child loves to eat food. Like that, different things they keep in front of the child. Connected to fine arts, connected to studies, connected to so many other things also they keep to show that the child vasana we can know. Because father gives only physical body, not the subtle body. So the child carries subtle body, is the vasanas from previous janma. That is the inclination we can see at the time of that when child is picking a thing which is in front of that child. That shows. This is a wide belief. It happens also. So this is about Namakarana. This is about Annaprasana. So Namakarana is the 5th one, and Nishkramanam is the sixth one, and the seventh one is Annaprasana. So, giving food ceremoniously, eaten the food by the child. And there are a lot of mantras, prayers, and that mantram says, Sava Esha Purushonnara Samayaha Anna Rasamayaha. Anna Rasam is coming out of Aushadis. The water content is there. So these are all prayers. So for child's sake, parents have to do prayers. Later, when child grows, child will do that prayers. Then we'll go to the eighth samskara known as Chudakarana. Chudakarana or Chaulam. It can be called as Chudakarana or Chudakarma or Chaulam. This Chudakarma, Chuda means tuft. Kudimi they say. In Telugu we call it as a pilaka. Kudimi. That is, in English they call it as tuft. This tuft, this ceremony, Chudakarana, they perform in the third year of the child. When the child is in third year, they perform Chuda Kriyate Yena Karmana, Chudakaranam. Here, in English they call it as tonsure, Tonsure. Tonsure means cutting the hair of the child. First time they remove the hair. And they call the barber and they do that. And they go to their Kuladevata also and they remove that hair for the child. And I want to explain about the significance of this tonsure. And Chuda means a tuft. Now, from health point, Ayurveda, Sushruta, what he says. Sushruta is a great doctor, or ancient doctor. Sushruta, a great surgeon, plastic surgeon. Is Ayurveda. In his books, he writes about this. It symbolizes. See, we can say symbolically also, philosophically, and shastrically also, scripturally, and health-wise, Ayurveda angle also we can say. So symbolically, hair represents all binding desires. How many hairs are there? Uncountable. Like that person also having uncountable desires. All binding desires are only the cause for bondage. So, symbolically, they remove the hair so that the child can be free from all binding desires. Binding desires are those desires which binds the person. Shubhavasanas will never bind the person. But because of Janma Vasanas, they are all accumulated. From many Janmas, Anadi, many Janmas, person is accumulating a lot of sins. The hair represents all those sins symbolically. So, all sins are removed. Binding desires call Papa Karma. Because of binding desires, person does Papa Karmas, sinful actions. Because of those sinful actions, again he accumulates some more Papas. Therefore, symbolically, hair represents all our Papas. Symbolically. And the hair they remove in the third year. So this is Tonsure Chudakaranam they perform. Now, that health point, why this tuft is required? Why they keep this tuft? According to Shastra, one should not remove whole hair, fully, complete shaving should not be done, according to Shastra. Complete shaving should not be done. Even they go to Tirupati also, completely they should not be shaven. Head should not be shaven. Either they have to keep a little bit at the back, where on the head, top of the head, there is a medulla. When the brain, according to medicine also, science, medical science, they say in the brain there are a medulla in brain, there are glands, important vital glands are there, vital points are there, life points are there. So to protect that, it is like a cover. For example, in Kathopanishad we saw that body is like a chariot, and that Yajamana is sitting inside the Atma. Like that here also, the body is like a chariot. See, like chariot is always having, when the Yajamana sits in the chariot, chariot has got a roof on the top. On the top, that is the protecting him from rain and sunlight. So like that, our body is like a chariot. The Jivatma is sitting inside, the individual who is coming from Janmas and Janmas, traveling from one body to another body. So that Jiva's Atma who is sitting inside is protected by this body, physical body, which is like chariot, and the tuft is like a cover of that chariot. So the Yajamana, Sarira Yajamana is sitting inside, Sariram is chariot, and the tuft is like a dome on the top, the roof like a cover. It protects the child. And that when that person is growing, and it is like a kavacham, it is like a protector. So that is, they say in Ayurveda, Sushruta says, Mastaka abhyantara uparishtat sthira sandhis sannipataha roma avartate adhipatihi. What it means? Mastaka abhyantara. Inside, that is in the brain. Mastaka abhyantara. Mastaka means head. Abhyantara. Uparishtat. Inside, on the top of the head, Sthira sandhi sannipataha. Sthira means blood vessels. Blood vessels are there. Sandhi means marmasthanam. That's why head injury is very dangerous. That's why they ask to wear helmet. Why? There are sthira sandhi, life vital points are there. They have to be protected, called marmasthanam. Sannipataha. There is a junction. These blood vessels are there. There is a junction. It is called Roma avartate. Roma avartate means there is like a whirlpool, like it is center. There is a place. You can see that white part of the head skin. The hair rounds like this. So that is called Shuli. In Telugu also they call Sudi, and in Tamil they call Suli. So, like a whirlpool form, it is there. Where who is there? Adhipatihi. The Lord of life is there. On the top, where they keep the tuft. The vital point where the life is whole as it were. If that tuft is there, it is protected. It will not be damaged. Sadhyaha maranam bhavati. If there is any injury, head injury at that place, satyaha maranam bhavati. Immediately the person will die. That is the reason why they ask to wear the helmet, so that this medulla can be protected. That is the idea. Shikha. In Sanskritam we call it as shikha. So this shikha is very, very protective according to Ayurveda. That is the idea. Okay. Now, another angle, Shastric angle, we'll see how the shikha is very important. So, Ayurvedic angle for vital points to protect that shikha, the kudimi, the tuft is kept. That means shaving the whole head, keeping the hair at the top of the head little bit. That is called Shikha. Now from Shastric angle, to perform rituals, tuft is must. Otherwise, he cannot perform any rituals. At the Upanayana time, Agnopavitam they wearing, they have to do lot of rituals. The tuft is required. So, Nitya Karma Anusthana Yogyata Prapyartham Siddhyartham. So, Nitya Karma to perform, one has to keep tuft. So, nowadays, some priests are also not keeping tuft. If any priest keep the tuft, he is not getting a girl to marry. Nobody is coming to marry if a person keep the tuft. Nowadays, as a fashion, they are keeping some hair and putting rubber band. They don't ask that one. But the tuft, you see how Ayurvedic angle it has got significance. And Shastric angle, when we are seeing now, this tuft is Shikha. Shikha rahitam karma nishphalam bhavati. Any Vedic ritual, if anyone perform without Shikha, that ritual cannot give the phalam. Nishphalam bhavati. Shikha rahitam karma, shikha rahitam. When there is no tuft, that kudimi is not there, or pilaka is not there. In Telugu, there it is called pilaka. It is not there. Karma nishphalam bhavati. It cannot give any phalam. This is the Shastric angle. And when they do Anganyasa and Karanyasa, while at that time they touch this kudim, that is tuft, and then chant Shikhaye Vashat, they chant. How they chant? Agnihotratmane Hridayaya Hridayaya Namaha Darshapurnamasatmane Shikhaye Vashat Chaturmasyatmane Siras Darshapurnamasatmane Sirase Swaha Chaturmasyatmane Shikhaye Vashat, like that. They have to touch the tuft. When they say that Anganyasa, Karanyasa, they have to touch. Nowadays, no Shikha, but they are touching only top of the head. That even that's why even some people keep craft and they keep some tuft behind top of the head. That is the purpose of Anganyasa, Karanyasa. Sikh, they have to keep that. Shikhaye Vashat comes there. Then second purpose, according to Shastra, is one should not vivasanaha nasnayat. One should not take bath without dress, towel. So one has to wear one cloth, at least one piece of cloth they have to wear and take bath. According to Shastra, naked body one should not take bath. So are very, very difficult for people to hear and all these things. But the intention is here. Why one has to wear that at least one towel they have to wear, because that one shloka is there. After taking bath, that vastram, not vastram, that sikha, jalam is there, that comes next, vastrodakam. This is shikhodakam, that comes later, vastrodakam. Shikhodakam is that once when they have that tuft, if it is long tuft, they put a knot. If it is short also, they put knot, and they remove that tuft knot while taking bath. When they take head bath, and when again they are going to put that knot, and the jalam comes from that hair, from that tuft. What they do with that tuft? Jalam, they say this is for our ancestors. It goes to ancestors. That sloka runs like this: Lata pushpeshu gulmeshu vartante pitaro mama. My pitrus are there in lata and creepers, and pushpeshu in flowers. gulmeshu, in shrubs. And vartante pitaro mama, my pitrus are there. My pitrus are there in these places, and tesham apyayanartham idam astu shikhodakam. Idam astu shikhodakam. For their sake, let this water be there. I am offering this water to them. This is the idea. Next, Vastrodakam is after taking bath with wearing a cloth, that water, they rinse that dress, that towel, that water, Vastrodakam, is for the sake of other people, those who do not have children, as this udakam will go to them. Ekecha asmat kule jata aputra gotraja mrita te grindhantu nishpeedanodakam. This rinsed water from my vastram, let it go to those people, forefathers who do not have children. Who do not have children, let this water go to them. That is the idea of this Vastrodakam. Ekecha asmat kule jata. Anyone is not having children, aputra, gotraja, they do not have children, let them also get this water. In Shraddha time, they give Pinda Tarpanas. So this water is given to them. This is the idea. Then, and when this shikha can be removed? The shikha can be removed when a person is having any disease. The tuft can be removed when the person is having any disease he is having. Or a Raja, when he to punish a person, at that time he removes the tuft. So Raja Siksha. Either Vyadhi time it can be removed, or at the time of the punishment given by Raja it can be removed, or at the time of sannyasa they remove this tuft. So ritually they kept the tuft, therefore ritually it has to be removed. So for sannyasa, those who want to take sannyasa, the guru removes the tuft. Ritually, they perform some rituals and they cut the hair, and that tuft they remove. These are the timings when the tuft can be removed. Then, where to keep this hair, what they cut that hair should be kept mixed with cow dung, and it has to be buried under the udumbara tree. It has to be buried because the hair should not spread all over anywhere. The reason is that black magic, when they perform abhicharika karmas, they do that taking the hair, nail, like that they take while doing black magic. So therefore this hair should not go into their hands. For hygiene purpose also, it has to be kept in buried place like that. That is the idea they mention in the black magic time. The child should not exposed to any evil forces. Therefore they keep it in the hair buried by mixing with cow dung. That is the idea. Then they use water, and there is a prayer for barber also. Father chant the prayer for barber and the knife also. Because for devatas, the barber is Surya. Surya removes the hair, that Chudakarana for Indra, Varuna, Agni. Chudakarana was done by the Surya Devata. Now for this child the barber is going to do. Now father says, "Oh barber, you are doing the tonsure karma to my son. So this you are like going to give some extra effulgence to my son, my child. Therefore, you are like a Surya Bhagavan." So barber looked like a Surya Devata. Because Surya Devata did for Devatas. Therefore, this barber is doing for my son. So you are giving extra effulgence to him. So the different directions they sit, southern side, eastern side, western side, for one purpose they perform that for prosperity and longevity, fame, intelligence. So one northern direction they keep the child and remove the hair for some part and for intelligence sake. For western side for fame, or eastern side longevity. Like that, different directions, different prayers are there. And then that barber use water also. That hot water should be, while cutting the hair, the barber must use water. That water must be added to cold water little bit. So according to Ayurveda, that is there. Apaha udant jivate dirghayutvaya vardhate, for dirghayush sake. And they use darbha also at that time. And that darbha indicates, along with the knife they catch the darbha also, that sharp grass. When they catch that indicates intelligence, sharpness. So my child also should have sharp intelligence, sharp intellect, like that. And the knife also, they do prayer, "Oh knife, don't hurt my child." So that is also prayer is there. All are very, very thoughtful if we think. So this is the idea about Chudakarma or Chudakaranam or Chaulam. With this, these samskaras over, and next samskara is going to come Upanayana. Before Upanayana, there are some more secondary samskaras. Some people follow, some people they don't follow. But next, we are going to see that in the next class. With this, I conclude these samskaras today. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.